Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is Boomba right here on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Dolupo, and I bid you a warm welcome to the bar today. Today we're going to be talking about quite a number of things. The Lagos State Assembly is in the news. Looks like there's an increase in the number of people that are going to be, deported from the United States. Nigerians that are going to be deported from the United States that we're going to be talking about. There are quite a number of things. NAFDAC is still ongoing with this issue. That's just coming from Osun State as well, and quite a number of other things as well. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's show. My name is Dolupo, like I said, and with me in the studio is Sola Rogers. So enjoy.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the bar.
Okay, so we're going straight into today's gist, and let's start from now. There's a lot of talks about people that are going to be deported to Nigeria. Now, last week, I think the number was 80, in the 80s. Now there's talks of this number going as far as 201 people. They're talking about how some of these people are criminals that have been in the U.S. for a while, and they're saying that at the immigration camps, these are people that have already been arrested. That 201 people are in immigration camps, and 85 of them have already been cleared for deportation.
Well, the Minister of State for, that's the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Bianca Ojukwu, had something to say about that, and there's something nice that I like that she actually highlighted, that what happens to the people who are not criminals that they plan to deport? Would they be allowed to take their properties? Would they be given a chance to, basically?
Do those things happen when they?
That's what they're asking. You can ask for things. You can do research, and you know that it's all about negotiations and all of that. They're saying that you want to deport some people because they basically overstayed and all of that. It's your country. You have the right to do that. But would you allow the ones who are non-criminal elements, the ones who basically are just caught up in this lack of, legitimate papers to stay in America, would they be allowed? And I think it's a good question. It's something that, because it can be traumatizing for people who've been through this, that they get to get thrown out, with just the shirts on their back.
My issue is, I get that it's a very valid question and all that, but from time immemorial, we know that when people are deported, you are deported the way you are. So what's the point of asking this question all over again?
Okay, once again,
it's bad enough that
it's funny. These
people are already illegally.
It's funny how you're saying that again, though. But of course, it's your view, your opinion. You're entitled to it, and it's valid. But I'm saying that because something has been from time immemorial does not mean that people do not try things differently. Does not mean that they cannot negotiate. We've seen situations where, it doesn't happen like that, and it happened because you asked, because you did a bit. And so, you know what? Would you even allow these people? They are leaving. Some of them will even voluntarily say, you know what? Since they could allow this set of people go with their stuff, we want to go. And they're also asking for them to be, treated with a little bit of dignity and respect, which is something that you ask for your citizens. It shows that you're a government that cares. And I'm with Bianca Ojukwu and the entire Ministry of Foreign Affairs on this one. I like their approach to it.
Okay, let me not overflow the show. Let me look like as if I'm trying to overdo it. I'm just saying that at this point, because there's a level of illegality in it, it's just. But anyway, let's go straight into it. But now they're saying that last week the Minister of Interior had already talked about how there's a bit of rehabilitation and all that for a few people, and I think that there also needs to be what I call it orientation about going to other people's country and not getting yourselves into crime. Because at this point, and I'm sure that a lot of those people already knew this was going to come anyway, even if all these immigration issues didn't come. I think that's always the bottom line. Once you are done with your prison sentence, you're deported. So I think that does a lot on that. Now let's move on from that. Just wanted to put that out there. Now let's move on from that, and let's go on to a bit of tension. There's quite a lot of tension around a few places. Lagos is having its own. Osun State is not having it easy as well. But let's stay with Lagos State for a little bit. So this morning there was news that the DSS had taken over the assembly complex in Lagos State. Before that, over the weekend, we had heard that the former speaker had petitioned, and not just petitioned, had taken the assembly to court for his calling it an illegal removal of his or his impeachment as Speaker of the House. And now, Mr. Uncle went to court, and there's now DSS this morning. Doesn't it look like there's a, how do they say it in Yoruba, that ojo gate kojo gate?
Favorite saying by Aboki from way back. The thing about this for me is that it's all pure politics. At the end of the day, this is politics playing out, and everybody wants to play the way they know how. Mm-hmm. The sad part is that the speaker that was impeached, Obasa, feels aggrieved. Why am I saying sad? He went to court. Why am I saying sad? Those things are not sad. Yes, they are not. The sad part is that a court case was announced on Saturday, mm-hmm. and law enforcement moves in on Monday. They have not even allowed the court to even sit, hear the case. To even say that, okay, someone's been
have they even picked
served and all of that. And I must say, they're not the military. The DSS, like I said, have moved in. I don't think it's right. I think even if Obasa has a case, even if the courts will reinstate him, even if for political reasons they will bring him back for whatever, mm-hmm. I don't think it's right for the DSS to go there to bar people from working. Do you understand? Because it's an entire complex where people are employed at. So speaker or no speaker, people have to go to work. Things have to go on. Committees have to meet regardless of plenary or not. And the videos I saw, a lot of them online, showed people resisting the DSS physically.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Resisting them. I saw a place where they were dragging a particular man at the door of one office, and people joined them to push the DSS out and everything. And I'm not sure that's the way things should be. I'm not saying that people should resist them physically, but again, how did you find yourself in that position in the first place? On whose mandate were you working on? Was it the court that asked you to go there physically with guns blazing and all? I don't think it's right for the DSS to stoop to this level.
So before we even get to the issue of DSS, so there's there's been talks all over social media that there's a lot of pressure for this new speaker to resign. It looks like she's not resigning. Yeah. However, I was going to ask, we hear a lot of DSS this, DSS that. It almost looks like DSS has become, is DSS an arm of the police or an arm of the military?
No, they're a standalone unit. Actually.
Are they paramilitary?
No, they are the, in quote, secret police. So they're not an affiliate of the Nigerian police, nor are they an affiliate of the military.
Are they paramilitary? Why I said so is that because
you can't call them paramilitary. They are the secret police. The secret police does not fall into that category.
Because what I'm saying so is,
would you call the CIA paramilitary or the FBI?
It almost looks like as if DSS now is forced to report. And that's, I'm sorry, shout out to the police, but that sounds like police business to me.
Well, the sad part for me still remains
is there any level of investigation
went to court on Saturday.
Someone
went to court on Friday or Saturday. The news broke on Saturday. And on Monday, the DSS has moved in. And what were they trying to do? And all they've simply done, is to bring some bad blood to themselves. So what it means now is that the speaker resumed. There's the first set of videos, you will see her under a gazebo with members of the house, where she was asking them, how many of us are here? And a few moments after, they actually made their way into the main chambers of the House, and they sat. It was an open session.
Yeah, there was
they had plenary.
Yeah, there was plenary.
And there was a vote of confidence from 36 members of the House. In a House that has, I think, 38 or thereabout.
I think they're 40. They're about 40.
So, so if 38, because of I'm saying that she won't vote, the impeached
deputy speaker. Okay.
So, and there are 36 people who were there physically to pass a vote of confidence. Then they now moved from that to say they were suspending activities in the House, till further notice or whatever. They use some Latin phrase or maxim or whatever. And that what does that tell you? That tells you that they are bedding down. That tells you that they're not going. They even ended up singing Mr. President's song for her. Your mandate will stand and all of that. This is pure politics.
So it looks like, and what I'm saying, looking at this whole issue for me with this Lagos State matter is, number one, it's obvious that if we go back to even when he was impeached, I'm not sure I heard 1 or 2 or 3 people opposed his impeachment, which doesn't sound like a good thing for him. Going forward now, you see how over and over again the assembly members seem to be behind this woman. Meaning that, sir, it's obvious that your colleagues don't want you. But I also want to ask, when people vote, which I know that is an elective position, they vote for you as a member of the House now. They don't vote for you as speaker. Why do you not want to turn it to dynasty? You got impeached. Come back as a floor member that you originally were. Why are you holding life to your chest?
Well, someone has been there for about 10 years. What do you expect? In the same position, he becomes very accustomed to that, position. It becomes to the privileges and everything that comes with it. Also seeing that he's a grassroots politician. He's not a small fry when it comes to politics. Obasa is one of those top guys when it comes to Lagos politics and all of that. And I know that there's this level of confidence that he has, from the moment the impeachment that happened to the moment he returned to Nigeria from the US and the first press conference he had and subsequent communications directly or indirectly from his camp shows that he's bedding down, he's not going quietly into the night, and he feels like it's his right to fight, for everything that belongs to him, in his opinion.
Which makes sense. Everybody has, it's an opinion, and everybody has their chance to choose. I was also going to say, going back to the fact that there were no opposing members, the politicians in Lagos, top politicians in Lagos, I've not heard anybody go against this impeachment. Let's even stick with the people in the House. Isn't it funny if, let's even say that he gets reinstated? This alone, this few weeks, should have shown you that these people don't like you.
Well,
why do you want to be speaker over people that don't want you?
A lot of people don't care about that sentiment. That thing that you're talking about is sentiment. It's got nothing to do, in some people's books, it's got nothing to do with nothing. In his own view, and a lot of people's view is that, look, I'm going to get my power back, and I'm going to get my power back. Then we can talk about other things later. And you know how easy and flimsy politicians are from fighting against someone to supporting the person. I remember when somewhere in Nigeria, a governor had been brought in after elections had been done and the courts said he was going to be the governor. The state assembly was in the control of the governor that was removed by the court. And everybody was like, this new governor that's coming from another party is going to find it very hard. Nothing happened. Absolutely nothing. Because it didn't take long for members of that assembly to move to the governor's party. Do you understand? So politics can be funny. You never can tell if Obasa returns. If he returns, how some of these people would just, come and look, we were coerced into doing it. As it stands now, we're with you. It's politics. You can't trust these people because anything can happen. But there's a lot pointing to the fact that there are a lot of people who are not happy with his way he has been running the house. The house, yeah. Okay. Now let's move on from the drama in Lagos State and let's move to the drama in what's it called? The drama in Osun State. So this
Osun State drama, if I'm correct, started with an appeal court judgment that seemed to be very clear about the local government, local government chairman. So apparently, when Governor Adeleke came in, they were sacked, and then they went to court. I remember, I think the assembly, there was talked, I think, in the Federal High Court. Now the appeal court has now reinstated these people again, and there's what is really causing the clash is, I think, before we even start with the clash, there was a statement from the governor. This was it yesterday, where he was accusing the former governor of Osun State and the minister of Blue Economy that he seems to be in charge of the security agencies in the state, meaning that he's planning to destabilize his state. That is in the person of Oyetola, and he was asking the president to call his cousin to order.
In his words, those were his own words. He referred to the person as the as the president's nephew, or whatever.
Yeah, nephew, cousin.
Can you be nephew and cousin?
I mean, nephew, and that's why I said nephew.
Yeah. So that's the governor of Osun State. There is the one we're quoting. He had a hashtag World Press Conference, according to his social media. It was hashtag World Press Conference. Now, the thing about it for me is that it's still politics, and we know how politics can go. The whole focus is on the next gubernatorial elections. They have an off-cycle election, so their own elections will come before 2027, and of course everybody's trying to take position. What Governor Adeleke did is what a lot of governors did before this new awareness about local government, became a big deal. And
now there's a Supreme Court judgment to that effect.
And, everybody now understands that, the local government must stand alone and must function. In fact, the Ministry of Finance and CBN and all them, they already have dedicated staff that are working to ensure that payments go directly, to the local governments. And so the local governments have become very financially viable now, and they have their own voice now. It's a win for the people, in my opinion. However, Governor Adeleke would not want to lose control of all the local government, especially going into an election in a few months' time, next year. That's what it is. However, the law is the law, and the courts are there, and he has forgotten that he has the right to appeal by going to a higher court than the appeal court, which would seal the deal finally. But he's made that press conference, and now there are actually videos and pictures of clashes that are happening in different parts of Osun State. In one local government, Borikpe, or the pictures of the APC chairman there who had gained access into the local government with its people. Then in some other places, the pictures of people who are alleged to be PDP thugs who were preventing some people from gaining access into the local government, who were actually arrested by the police and DSS and all of that. And you now see that it's not as if it's a one-way thing, that it's the APC that's going to get access freely, because there's allegations that the PDP is also pushing back physically. Now, it is reported by several media platforms that at least 2 people have been killed.
Yeah,
we've seen some gory pictures on social media too. We don't. It's not something that one wants to talk about, but this is the news, and this is what's happening as of today in Osun State, in Nigeria.
According to reports, 2 people were reportedly shot at Borikpe local government area of Osun State.
Yeah, and one of them is alleged to be one of the returning chairmen who is said to have been shot in cold blood or whatever. But we'll wait for further clarification from the police and all the military and paramilitary people who are on ground to bring peace to that state. It's a sad situation where court judgments are clear. There's no ambiguity in those judgments, but Osun State has interpreted it, the current government of it has interpreted it a certain way, and the opposition party in Osun State, as the APC, have interpreted it another way.
It's very interesting. Now, I think that I would need to do a bit more research. But however, I'm not sure that this case is going to the Supreme Court. I think that's where the problem lies. You know, there are some of these cases that stops at the appeal court. So I will confirm, but looks like that's what is happening. So there's no going anywhere again. That's why these people seem to have the confidence to resume. Now, whether Governor Adeleke has control over the local governments or not, like you said, the courts had spoken. Remember the local government autonomy story? I think it's the Oyo State governor. There was a lot of lamenting, quite a lot of lamentations. However, it was just lamentations because the Supreme Court had spoken and there was nothing even the president can do about it anymore. So at this point, maybe the best thing is to find a way to regroup. But it is obvious now, at least, that we know that governors cannot sack local government chairmen arbitrarily anymore. So take your L and move on.
Politics.
I don't understand, but what do I know? I just hope that people are safe. People in Osun State, please need to stay safe. There seems to be a lot of crisis in a lot of local government places. I really hope that the police and hopefully the military come in and clear everything, because at the end of the day, there's nothing anybody can do. If the courts had said these people are the chairman, they are the chairman, and there's nothing you can do about it. Wait for the next time that there's an election. End of story. Anyway, let's move on from that quickly and let's come back to Lagos State. Now, on this Lagos State matter, this one is a completely different thing. And this is about NAFDAC. These days, you know, it's NDLEA we hear gist about every week. Looks like NAFDAC seems to have cut the bug. We're going on about how I think for like 2 weeks the amount of things they had done in the east and shutting markets down, shutting a lot of destroying fake drugs and all that. Interestingly, Lagos State is the next in line, as they had sealed about 3,000 shops in Lagos. They seized about 12 truckloads of fake drugs. And keep in mind, is Idumota. Same Idumota. Lagos Island Market.
So the first thing I would like to do is say thank you to NAFDAC, the agency that is out to save Nigerians and save our lives and everything. I was watching an interview where, you know, the woman in charge was asked if which particular set of drugs are the most faked, and he said drugs for children fall into that category. So you can just imagine the amount of children that have been poisoned by this terrible human beings claiming to be businessmen and women. There are too many of them. If they can steal 3,000 shops just in one market in Lagos alone,
you know,
you can
even
imagine.
the
But
concept
however,
of the market.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just
even
the concept of the market. We know it's literally called Idumota Open Drug Market. Is it even right in the first place?
Well, these things have been like that for years. Just like Dolupo said that, you know, deportation has been like that for years. So let's just leave it and let it thrive, since it's been like that for years.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's been like that for years, but
there's no need to change it.
You're not getting my point. I'm saying that the idea of the open drug market, is it even right in the first place?
But I'm saying that since it's been like that for decades, we should leave it. There's no need to look at that idea.
Okay.
It's the same logic as in, since deportation has always been a certain way, nobody should try to change it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's a bar, Dolupo. It's a bar.
Okay.
So let's go with your logic. I think I'm done with that. Now, I just want to commend NAFDAC on what they've done. The 3,000 shops in Lagos is massive, but that's even not the real work. There's somewhere in Enugu and Abia where, you know, they've been uncovering a whole lot, an entire 2-story building dedicated to fake drugs, and expired drugs too. And they found how these criminals were changing the expiry dates of drugs. Then they moved to Onitsha, and again they ended up sealing the entire market because they found that the drug section of that market was all round bad. Like everything happening there was illegal. A lot of people have been coming for the presidential candidate of the Labour Party because he went there on a fact-finding mission, and he was former governor of that state, and he was saying, "I'm not done." And he was saying that it doesn't feel it's right for the entire market to be shut down because people need to get their livelihood and everything, and that the country's hard enough. So, I think from what he's saying, and I see that a lot of people have misconstrued what he's saying. What he's saying is that you can seal the part where the bad things are happening, but let the other parts of the market function. You know, the building materials part and other things like that. That's what he's saying. But a lot of people have come for him with a lot of stories about why he had to even say that in the first place.
Yeah.
Then the next day, just when people are still talking about Onitsha, in Abia State, the Fox Road, they found another den of drugs, fake medicine. Because Nigerians, when we say drug, outside Nigeria, drugs are bad things. In Nigeria, drug is medication. That's our English for medication. You get. Some people even got to trouble in the UK for saying they have bought drugs for their husband, not knowing that they were supposed to say medicine. You get. So, but when you hear us say drug on this show, we're talking medicine and medication. So, it's shocking that even on Sunday, in fact, they say that by the time they got to the venue where those things were found, that there was traces that the criminals had just moved a few packs out. Like they knew they're coming to bust them, and they had moved a few of those items out, and there were traces of that with trucks and everything that they had used. It's a good thing that this war is going on, and if you really care about yourself, because everything is being faked now. Everything is being. I get it if you are faking designer shoes, it's wrong, and t-shirts and bags.
Yeah, but at least it doesn't.
I don't think those things will kill anybody.
Yeah.
But you see, the things that we ingest, food, you know, you're faking medicine, drinks, you know, alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages, all being faked, milk, corned beef, everything, sardine, everything being faked.
You know,
It's time that more military personnel were deployed to help NAFDAC, because I saw they deployed them in Onitsha. And funny thing is, some people were trying to attack the military, who were there to keep the law.
So I think I'm going to take you back to the story of Peter Obi going to that market. Number one, you had made that he said he was going on a fact-finding mission. As what? As
the former governor, as the presidential candidate of Labour, and as the potential
it's not your business.
Presidential candidate in 2027.
It's absolutely not his business. That's number one. Number two.
Says you.
That's what I'm saying. What is his function? Is it the head of NAFDAC, or is he part of security agencies?
It's a businessman. He's a concerned citizen. He's a former governor. Is an Easterner from the southeastern part of Nigeria. I've given you 4 or 5 reasons why he could be there.
I think those reasons are not tenable.
In your own books.
I don't think it's his business.
The Nigerian Constitution says that he can't be there.
You will now go there, sorry to say, but you will now be spewing that the entire market should not be shut down. If people that are selling building materials, you know that they are selling fake stuff in that place, be a whistleblower if you do not want stuff to be shut down.
How do you know there was no whistleblower involved?
Everybody takes it like that. They shot everybody. Because I think that the problem is that a lot of people do not understand the gravity of buying fake medication. Buying fake food and fake drinks is deadly, is lethal, yeah? But when it comes to drugs are supposed to be directly to your liver, your kidney, and all that. It is like 10 times more dangerous to take expired medication, to take fake drugs, than maybe taking fake food. People don't get it. It is, was it NAFDAC was talking about how I think they're looking at the death penalty for people that they were asking the House of Assembly to look into the death penalty, and I agree with it. You are planning on killing people. There's no other. It's first degree murder. If you feel that it is okay to fake medication and sell it to people, people have died buying fake paracetamol.
One thing that I want to weigh in on this is that I'm not sure there's any country in the world that has this kind of plague. I think it's just Nigeria alone. And the government must take it serious the way NAFDAC has taken
because
it.
we have found a way to make it fester.
Must also step up, and the local governments must step up. People are dying. We keep saying the country is hard, things are hard. But now some people are killing people faster because they want to make money.
They want to make money.
So whoever you are, wherever you are from, as long as you have committed this particular crime, I think the ultimate punishment that they are pushing for should be done and meted out to them.
So if it's going to take shutting down markets for some things to stop, oh yes, please, let's shut them down. Let's shut them down. How in the world 3,000 shops? So you're all of you on that row, 3,000 shops, all of you are selling fake things. Please.
And the funny thing is that big pharma, everybody says big pharma is bad because they want to make money from people's illnesses. I'm wondering why big pharma is not fighting this fight.
Because it's
the
less
bulk of the
business
money
for
that
you
should be making is going to these people who are faking your drugs.
Exactly.
I think it's something that they need to get involved in, and they need to get involved in fast and support what NAFDAC is trying to do.
I agree with you.
And you now find I was having a sit down with someone, and he was saying that look, he has gone fully traditional. That he's not going to risk his life on that. He doesn't trust any medicine from any pharmacy anywhere. That buying in expensive places does not guarantee the authenticity of the
what NAFDAC
item.
was saying was that the ones in Lagos, as far as vaccines were kept in very unhygienic places. And
even the expired ones are being recycled. They're just changing the labels on them, and they're doing it professionally, so you can't even tell from the labeling. You cannot.
The reason if you know that whatever you're using is wrong. That's the bad part. Now, still talking about drugs. Now we're going all the way to the NDLEA, where the NDLEA had busted a trans-border drug trafficking syndicate, seizing 190,960 pills of tramadol. And how with that they had arrested 4 people in connection with that syndicate. It's funny how we're at a point where tramadol is a stronger form of Panadol that people, maybe you have a fracture or something that you are given.
What's Panadol?
Paracetamol.
Okay, thank you. It's a pain reliever. Not everybody would understand when you say Panadol.
Yeah. So that's what it's supposed to be. The same way cough syrup is for if you have a cold, to relieve the cough.
No, that was for the older generation.
Then we're now at a point
cough
where
syrups are sold in clubs now on ice.
Proper medication is not being abused so much that is now business.
Yeah. And the sad part is that the tramadol that they have seized, I'm sure they are all original. Do you see the sad part? They're bringing in tramadol for illicit drug trade, and it will be original. Then the real medicine that you need to get well is fake.
Man. It's such a very sad thing. Now let's move on quickly and let's go back to there are quite a number of things to talk about. Now the CBN has released new official exchange rates today, and they're talking about how so in the past couple of weeks the Naira seems to have been appreciating. Some people are saying that it is the refineries working, and that a lot of the refineries are being sold crude to in Naira, so there's less use of the dollar. There's been a bit of speculations, but the truth is that in the past about 2 weeks now, it has been a little stable. I don't think it is stable enough for us to be jubilating yet, but we are getting somewhere.
We are indeed getting somewhere. It's our job to always balance the stories, bring you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And this is a good one. The beauty of this is that beyond the sale of crude to the refineries are also exporting, the finished products, the processed products, and they are exporting it in large quantities, and that's good news. Again, Nigeria has also been able to attract a lot of foreign direct investment. When you look at some media platforms like Bloomberg and the rest of them telling you that Nigeria's tough measures are now paying off. I just saw a story that they put out a few hours ago that it's paying off now, that more investors want to come because there's stability, the policies are straight, and the potential is big.
Is there,
the prayer is that
it stays this way.
It gets better than this, so that Nigerians can actually feel it.
Finally,
I was having a discussion with some people in church yesterday. I was telling them how things were improved, and they came for me. They're elderly people. They're older than I am. 2 women, and they came for me. No, they can't feel. I was trying to explain, and one said, "You're a journalist." That's got nothing to do. It's their season. Lawyers and journalists.
Oh Lord, interesting. We're talking about crude oil. It's interesting how now the NNPC is refuting a particular claim. Over the weekend, there was a video that went viral of a particular person that did sort of an experiment with Dangote petrol and NNPC petrol. And according to the person's independent or so-called independent experiment, it showed that NNPC petrol dries faster or burns faster than
according to this person. Please,
yeah,
because we don't want this distorted in any way.
According to this person and according to the experiment
that the person carried out. So to even do it, the guy went ahead to buy 2 generators that we have rechristened in Nigeria as I better pass my neighbor. They're the smallest type of generators you can find in the market.
I didn't know those things were still like being
sold.
And
he bought 2 brand new ones and set them up and put them there and everything. And the funny thing is, even the fact that he poured in petrol at different times and started one before the other already shows that his experiment is flawed. If he wanted to do it proper, he would have had 2 people pull the thing at the same time. But again, one other flaw with this so-called experiment that people started jumping on is that there are outlets of NNPC that sell Dangote petrol. It's not as if because they are now refining in Port Harcourt that they will not allow people get PMS from Dangote,
yeah,
where it's cheaper and more affordable. So everybody wants to be a Christopher Columbus of our time, but I think it should be calm, and it should be more of a more scientific approach rather than buying generators and putting it. But I like the guys' verve.
But what if it's just being paid?
Yeah, if he's neutral, I like him.
Yeah.
If he's being paid, well, kudos to him.
So NNPC has refuted those claims and saying that it's not true that their petrol burns faster.
Yeah, and there are also counter claims. People are saying that it's the marketing by the other brand.
Yeah. But one thing that I think I noticed, and I'm going to say kudos to both NNPC and Dangote, is that these days, especially when maybe you just buy fuel in your car and you buy fuel in maybe kegs that are colored, you don't really notice the color of. But I saw the video that I saw, even the so-called darker fuel is still not as
clear
dark as what we used to buy before.
Yeah. It's clear.
I know a lot of people had a lot of things. So I'm like, but that's one thing that I saw. It still looked like it was better fuel. So we're getting somewhere. Anyway, but we know that this refineries is also causing a lot of market forces are really going in. I think I saw over the weekend, I think NNPC has also now dropped the pricing again, which is good. Well, let the market forces work, and everybody is now, they are not hawking, not even advertising now, hawking petrol like it's bread. Anyway, still going back to CBN, the SERAP, Socio-Economic Rights Accountability Project, has now issued a 48-hour deadline to the CBN to reverse their unjust ATM fee hike. So I don't think it's a hike. What the story of not allowing, not giving you that that window where you can use 3 deductions with your other people's ATMs and you won't have any form of deductions. And we know that CBN had cancelled it, basically saying that everybody should go and use their own bank's ATMs, basically, that it will not cost you anything else. But SERAP is saying that it's unjust, that people are going through a lot, and it's costing people, everything is costing.
Like I said, when government comes with these policies, they need to do better by educating people. I think maybe the guys at SERAP do not understand it. Maybe they are not so in tune with what happens in Nigeria's financial sector as it stands today. People get cash from what they call POS points now. It's become an entire industry, and they charge more than the ATMs will charge. So what the government is saying is that the banks must ensure that they put money where people can get it for less, so that you're not taking your cards to these POS points where they can. Some of them are not even great people. You know, hardly would you hear about a crime now that the POS person is not involved in one way or the other. So I think SERAP should rethink their stance on this, or maybe do a little bit more research and understand that this is a good one.
Yeah. Anyway, now moving on from that quickly. The Nigerian Navy has also impounded 1,400 liters of illegally refined crude oil in Ondo State. I think I saw a report where NNPC was saying that they recover on an average about 5,000 liters of crude per day.
Question is, how are they able to get these things? How do they have the expertise and the time to pull these things off? And with all the new monitoring units that they've set up and the command center, why is this
still working? Yeah, so it's sad. Now, moving on, still on the military issue. Now, there's a military strike that killed 6 family members in Katsina State.
It's a very sad story. There were local government elections at the weekend, and according to the security agencies, there was a tip-off that some unscrupulous elements were going to attack voters. And eventually that happened in some parts of Katsina. And in the process, even some of the military people got attacked, and one of them, I think one or two of them, eventually died. So they had called for backup, military air backup and everything. And that led to what they call at times friendly fire, which led to the death of 6 people who are civilians who were also not said to be criminals. And it's a very sad thing. I know that the military are doing their best, but it would be nice if we didn't hear about this kind of things anymore.
It really would be. It's sad, and I also think that some of these criminals and unscrupulous people use these innocent people as human shields. It's such a very sad one. Now let's move on from that and let's do a little bit of politics issues. Yes, we had talked about Lagos and we talked about Osun State, but there's also issues brewing in Kaduna State as well. It's really Kaduna PDP. Last week, 3 State House of Assembly members moved. 1 House of Rep member moved. Also PDP. So 4 elected members of the PDP moved to the APC. Over the weekend, there was a movement of about 500,000 people, members of the PDP, to the APC.
Not just the PDP now, NNPP, Labour, and all the opposition.
So there were quite a number of people that were said to have moved to the APC.
So
what can we say is causing this sudden movement towards? Because I know that people have been moving here, but we've not heard it really a lot in Kaduna. All of a sudden, this shift is maybe like in the past 1 week.
Yeah, it's been going on. It just became very popular or very pronounced now. And not just the serving members, former House of Assembly members, former governors and former governorship candidates all moved to go and join Governor Uba Sani in the APC in Kaduna State. One of the things that's responsible, if you notice the movement, the mass movement is from Southern Kaduna. And Southern Kaduna had fallen out with the APC a couple of years ago when the other governor was there, and there was a lot of insecurity and everything. I think what has happened now is that people are seeing a lot of development, but especially security. There's a place called Benengwari that is the role model of this new security, stance. And there are stories of how Benengwari, being an agrarian community, had shut down for years. But now that the military moved in last year and things have changed, there's a farmer that is rumored to have made over 1 billion naira just from security alone, because he was now able to sell over 20,000 bags of rice and other, commodities and items. And, and again, incidentally, a few hours ago, the governor just flagged off all year round farming in Kaduna, which means that dry season farming is now a big thing there. So there's going to be more food being produced, and which definitely means that the prices, and that's one of the reasons why the price of rice and everything went down. Because places like Benengwari and the other places, they are producing a lot now, and it's down to security. So Southern Kaduna people didn't vote for Uba Sani. The bulk of his votes did not come from there. He got a few votes from there because, of course, he came as an APC person, and the current APC person, the then APC governor, didn't seem to be very popular in Southern Kaduna. But now, a lot of people from Southern Kaduna are actually saying that, look, they're ready to work for him and his president, as he sees that they're seeing the results. He's also revealed that there's going to be a metro. There's also going to be a Kaduna metro. The federal government, he said, the president called him and said, don't worry, we've added more money for your metro, you're going to get it. And so people are seeing infrastructural development. Not to say that the other governor did not do that. You must give him kudos. He did a lot. Yeah,
but security is a lot.
I think security is the main reason why people are now really happy
with the APC. Anyway, the PDP is not happy in Kaduna State, saying that they've now written to INEC, saying that these elected members, their seats should be declared vacant.
You will not expect the PDP to keep quiet and just watch their people leave them. But
it still always reeks of hypocrisy.
Yeah, but it's politics. Politics is something.
Okay, so what you're saying is that it's not like as if they will get their wish, but they just need to say, Doctor.
Who says they won't get their wish? What if they look at it and say, these people, what would be the reason? You see, the mistake that the PDP makes is that it's a simple law. The law and the reason, the only reason you need is to say that there's a problem in your party. And PDP has just provided the excuse for them now. Because when you say, the INEC should wait in, blah, 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 they will say, you see, that's why we are leaving the party. That's why we left. Because we know we don't meet. It's easy. If politicians want to cross, it's very easy.
It's very easy.
I wish there was stringent rules, and maybe that would make us a little bit more serious. But you see it's happening now. And the PDP would not stop crying wolf, but I always remind them, there was a time when you were beneficiaries of this
as well, things. And nobody said anything about it.
You should have complained then too.
Anyway, like you had said earlier, the Katsina local government election, APC won all 34 local government areas. Did not expect anything.
Yeah, it was interesting to see the former President Buhari, walk to his polling units with the people, in the midst of his people, and walk back and everything, and he voted. It's interesting. Now, Niger State, there was mass wedding for 21 couples in the Catholic Church in Niger State as well. I don't understand the point of mass weddings, but the Catholic Church thing has always been a thing, though, and 21 to me is not mass. Now that they are talking about hundreds and thousands of people, but that multiple people get married in the Catholic Church has always been a thing.
Okay, now let's do a bit of sports before we go. Actually, we have a number of minutes left. Now, first things first, Rangers have officially halted Remo Stars' unbeaten run.
Yeah.
I felt very hurt.
It's a good thing. Rangers, people forget that they are the defending champions, and their coach, Fidelis Ilechukwu, and the coach of Remo are friends, and they're both young men who are also assistant coaches in the Super Eagles. I hope they are still assistant coaches with the new coach that they brought. But so there's a lot of history between them, and Remo are topping the log. Rangers are defending champions. This was bound to happen.
Yeah, but they're still topping the league yet. They just lost that one. Also, Nasarawa United has now gotten a new coach, former Super Eagles coach Salisu Yusuf now.
Yeah, Salisu Yusuf is a very good coach, very, very good coach. And Nasarawa, they've not really had it.
Yeah, they have not had it.
So they're hoping that Salisu can turn this season around. Help.
Now, moving on from that, Miss Nigeria, the very controversial current Miss Nigeria, Chidinma Adesina. Now, there's been reports that her mom has been arrested in South Africa, and this still goes back to because of the story of the impersonation and issues like that.
Forgery, all sorts of allegations. It's alleged for me until she goes to court and it's proven and the law can take its full course. I'm wondering that with all the brouhaha, how come you're still there?
What? Why did you just leave? I don't understand. At least I'm sure that your child probably has like a house in Lagos now, or maybe in Abuja or something. You should have just left.
You don't even need to come to Nigeria. You could go to your own country or anywhere other place.
You could have just left. I don't know why.
But now, the law.
Anyway, the lawsuit that had alleged that Jay-Z, American rapper, had raped a 13-year-old girl, that has now been squashed. Basically, the matter has been dismissed officially. Now, also just wanted to put this out there. Lagos State officially has a new commissioner of police. Didn't they just get one a few months ago?
Well, it's police work. They can decide to reshuffle as the case may be. The commissioner they have here could be moved to another place where they feel is more needed, or the one that they're bringing here they feel is more needed here. It could be anything, but again, I also like that idea of a vibrant police force.
So you are moving people?
Yeah, but again, community policing is still the solution, because the ones who are on ground would understand, the intricate things surrounding that community more than someone who's coming from outside.
Okay, so can I give there's a little bit of update, as the DSS has now given an update on what happened in Lagos State. According to a report from the DSS, they said that they did not invade the Lagos House of Assembly. They were invited.
The question now is, who invited you? At times when you go to parties and you get to the gate and say, your pass. You say, I was invited. And who invited you? So the DSS, who invited you? Do you have pass? Is it gate pass that you have? Is it VIP?
So according to them, the DSS had disclosed that there was a letter dated as far back as February 14th. This was Friday, that there was additional security that was needed. They said that there was credible information that there were plans to forcefully reinstate the impeached speaker, and it could pose a security risk. That was why they came in.
Okay,
that the impeached speaker was planning to come there to come and cause havoc.
Okay, we understand that now, but the sad part is, why wait so long, and why not tell the people who were
that was the reason why
we're here for this reason, and this is why we're here. And again, I think there are better ways to communicate these things. You should have sent a message officially. Also, since you got an invitation officially, you should have sent a message to the same channel to say, we're coming. And those people will also tell their own people, look, the DSS is coming and they're here to help.
Okay, now
communication helps.
Yes, I think that makes sense. They definitely should have communicated their plans. Anyway, that is all we're able to take today on The Bar. Thank you for listening so much. Thank you for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time to give you another wonderful edition of The Boomba. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.